particularly guest speaker.
Good morning, Rabita. Thank you. And good morning to all the participants. And good morning, sir. Krishnan, sir. It's a great privilege on our part to have you with us. As Rabita said, this AMP program, we have a intention of creating a leadership pipeline in the banking industry who are by all-round, gaining all-round knowledge in the paradigm shift which is coming in the banking. When the banks is moving towards a resilient, sustainable model, these AMP candidates should also be impactful while going back to their respective positions after completion of AMP. So the course design is such that it is one of its kind, having all banking parameters in mind. The courses has been designed, and of course it is, as Rabita said, is not that easy. It is a modular structure, and one of the highlights is we invite the guest speakers, the industry leaders, who can interact with these participants, and they can gain the first-hand knowledge. It's always better to say the examples, but nothing better than having meeting a person who has led in the industry from the front in person. Of course, it is virtual, but we still feel it. The virtual now is the new normal. So your presence, sir, naturally will not only encourage us at IIBF, also give a glimpse of the changing scenarios, what has happened earlier and what is going to happen in the banking industry, how you focused on the process flow. What I have seen when you were heading the Punjab and Sindh Bank or to the Tamilnad Mercantile Bank, you felt that the process is better, the more important for an organization's sustainable growth. So here the same thing, whether it is MSME finance, whether it is monitoring the advances or systematically garnering deposits, the process in the bank always takes the precedence over the people. So people, they should learn the processes, how to deliver it in a better way. That is where the differentiator lies between bank A and bank B. How we can deliver with a process-driven delivery to the bank customers. So, sir, the participants are from various banks, including Punjab and Sindh Bank, including the Reserve Bank of India. So they will be very eager to listen to you, sir. Now I hand over the podium to Rabita and to you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Krishnan, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Rabita. Mr. Da.
Participants for the immersion program, 5 days, where they stay there for 5 days, and we do management development program on topics like organizational behavior, integrated marketing management, strategic management, and macroeconomics. So, sir, this is a 10 months program, and we can say a bit of hectic program, but a weekend program so that bankers can join and they can make use of the weekends for 1 year. So, and sir, our participants now, they have even got to high levels in the industry also. And so in Tamilnad Mercantile Bank also, sir, GMs had joined, and now we see that they have become EVPs, which is a very happy moment for us. So, sir, welcome to the program. And I would now request our CEO, sir, to please welcome all the audience and particularly guest speaker.
Good morning, Rabita. Thank you. And good morning to all the participants. And good morning, sir. Krishnan, sir. It's a great privilege on our part to have you with us. As Rabita said, this AMP program, we have a intention of creating a leadership pipeline in the banking industry who are by all-round, gaining all-round knowledge in the paradigm shift which is coming in the banking. When the banks is moving towards a resilient, sustainable model, these AMP candidates should also be impactful while going back to their respective positions after completion of AMP. So the course design is such that it is one of its kind, having all banking parameters in mind. the courses has been designed, and of course it is, as Rabita said, is not that easy. It is a modular structure. And one of the highlights is we invite the guest speakers, the industry leaders, who can interact with these participants, and they can gain the first-hand knowledge. It's always better to say the examples, but nothing better than having meeting a person who has led in the industry from the front in person. Of course, it is virtual, but we still feel it. The virtual now is the new normal. So your presence, sir, naturally will not only encourage us at IIBF, also give a glimpse of the changing scenarios, what has happened earlier and what is going to happen in the banking industry, how you focused on the process flow. What I have seen when you were heading the Punjab and Sindh Bank or to the Tamilnad Mercantile Bank, you felt that the process is better, the more important for an organization's sustainable growth. So here the same thing, whether it is MSME finance, whether it is monitoring the advances or systematically garnering deposits, the process in the bank always takes the precedence over the people. So people, they should learn the processes, how to deliver it in a better way. That is where the differentiator lies between bank A and bank B. How we can deliver with a process-driven delivery to the bank customers. So, sir, the participants are from various banks, including Punjab and Sindh Bank, including the Reserve Bank of India. So they will be very eager to listen to you, sir. Now I hand over the podium to Rabita and to you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Krishnan, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ravita. Mr. Das, CEO of IIBF, Director Training, Mr. Prasad, other directors who are present here, the other faculties of IIBF, my fellow bankers, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to every one of you. It is always a pleasure for me to interact with my fellow bankers, more particularly when I interact with the participants of the IIBF course. This advanced management program, as I have addressed earlier also, Mr. Das may
Yes.
recollect.
Yes, sir.
It's one of the, I can say that's one of the very good course for the bankers. And I also observed that IIBF is constantly, continuously revising the method of coaching. Thereby, the bankers can be molded to meet the challenges. The banking is very dynamic, it changes very fast, and there is a need to keep one updated of himself or herself so that it will be very good for the industry, for the individual. Now, today, I thought that I can discuss a topic of importance in the country today, the untapped potential of the micro, small, and medium enterprises, and the strategies banks can adopt to fully harness this capability. I feel that this is one of a very, very important topic today. If you look into the banks, one after the other, and across the globe, I can say that there is a talk on MSMEs. If that being the case, I thought that let me interact with my fellow bankers as to how the MSMEs are in India, what is the potential, and what are the strategies the bankers can adopt to harness the capability. With that in mind, I thought I can today interact with every one of you. Of course, I always believe in a two-way interaction. It is not a classroom lecture. There are excellent faculties in IIBF who will be delivering good lectures, but still, let me try. The MSME sector is rightly referred to as the backbone of our economy. It contributes significantly to the GDP, employment, and exports. However, despite its strategic importance, a vast portion of its potential remains underutilized. So what shall we do? Today I am to share insights, challenges, and strategies to ensure that banks play a pivotal role in unlocking the latent power of this sector. To set the context, let us briefly look into the current landscape of MSMEs in our country. The MSME sector contributes over 30% to GDP and 40% to exports. MSMEs contribute significantly across various sectors in the economy. Let us look into some of the key sectors where MSMEs play a vital role. Let us take the manufacturing sector to begin with. MSMEs produce a wide range of products, including textiles, leather goods, food and beverages, machinery, and chemicals. They are a major part of India's industrial output and contribute significantly to export earnings. When I move from the manufacturing sector to the services sector and look into what are the contributions of the MSME, hospitality and tourism, IT and software development, transportation and logistics, retail trade and e-commerce. The services sector, MSMEs drive job creation and enhance accessibility to essential services. Good. The manufacturing sector, they play a vital role. The services sector, they play a vital role. We have another important sector in the country, agriculture and allied activities. What is that the MSMEs play there? MSMEs support agro-processing, packaging, distribution, and the production of farm equipment and fertilizers. They bridge the gap between agricultural production and the market, adding value to the supply chain. The other sector is handicrafts and traditional industries. MSMEs preserve and promote India's rich cultural heritage by producing handicrafts, handlooms, and traditional articrafts. These industries provide employment in rural and semi-urban areas. Is that only the MSMEs play? No. Export-oriented units. MSMEs manufacture goods such as garments, leather products, gems and jewelry, and automotive components for export markets. They contribute nearly 40% of India's total exports. Mind, 40% is not a small number. Construction and infrastructure, there also they play a major role. MSME supplies construction materials, tools, and equipment. They support infrastructure development and housing projects. They have entered also into the new sector like renewable energy and green technologies. MSMEs manufacture and supply components for solar panels, wind turbines, and energy-efficient products. They play a key role in India's transition toward sustainable development. They don't stop there. They also have a significant role in pharmaceutical and healthcare. MSMEs produce generic medicines, medical devices, and healthcare solutions. They help make healthcare more affordable and accessible. Yet another sector where they play a major role is automotive and ancillary industries. MSMEs produce components and spare parts for the automotive sector. They form a crucial part of the supply chain for large automobile manufacturers. Information and communication technology, there also they have a presence. They provide IT services, software development, and support for digital transformation. Education and skill development. MSMEs operate coaching centers, vocational training institutes, and e-learning platforms. They contribute to human capital development and upskilling the workforce. Food processing and beverages. MSMEs process agriculture produce and packaged food beverages and ready-to-eat products. They enhance value addition and reduce post-harvest losses. Friends, we have seen some of the sectors, and if we really look into these sectors, by and large, it covers almost all the sectors, I can say. That is where the MSMEs contribute to the GDP and also to the exports. They are versatile contributors, driving growth in traditional industries while also venturing into modern high-tech sectors, making them indispensable in India's economy. The MSMEs employs more than 110 million people across urban and rural areas. Look at this. They contribute to 30% of the GDP. They contribute to 40% of the India's exports. And they give a lot of employment. 110 million people are being employed by these MSME across the length and breadth of the country. Yet, the sector faces a financing gap of nearly $240 billion. The gap is not small. Why? And how this financial gap, when I say how this number has come, where from this number has come? The financing gap of nearly $240 billion is based on reports and studies by global national institutions such as World Bank, International Finance Corporation, Reserve Bank of India. These studies analyze the demand and supply of credit in the MSME sector. Sorry. The IFC report on MSME finance estimates a credit gap of $240 billion in India, identifies that only 16% of MSMEs have access to formal credit, while the remaining rely on informal sources or remain underserved. The RBI and SIDBI insights highlight the limited penetration of financial institutions in rural and semi-urban areas where a large percentage of MSMEs operate. Emphasize the need for innovative lending models to close the gap. This significant gap is a critical hurdle that limits MSMEs' ability to scale operations, adopt new technologies, and compete globally. It underscores the urgent need for banks and other financial entities to focus on innovative, inclusive, and scalable financial solutions. By addressing this gap, banks not only support MSME growth, but also catalyze economic development, employment generations, and wealth creations. This gap indicates an opportunity for banks to bridge and expand their role as enablers of MSME growth. Now let us understand the challenges what MSMEs face. Why there is such a huge gap? What are the challenges they basically face? That is more important. If we are able to understand the challenges what they face, as a banker, we can definitely look into the solutions, the mitigations, how we can address the challenges faced by the MSMEs, thereby reduce the financial gap, which is huge, as we saw, based on the reports of the IFC, based on the insights of the Reserve Bank of India, the SIDBI, and various other studies. Now, if we look into the key issues, what the MSMEs face is access to credit. Limited access to formal financing channels forces MSMEs to rely on high-cost informal sources. How we can address, we will look into a little later. Lack of collateral. Many MSMEs struggle to meet collateral requirements, which hampers their ability to secure loans. Financial literacy, which is again very important. A significant number of semi-urban areas where a large percentage of MSME operate the entrepreneurs lack knowledge about available financial products and services. There is a need to enhance their financial literacy. Technology adoption. Limited digital and technology adoption in operations and finances impacts the scalability. Now, these are some of, in my opinion, very key challenges that the MSMEs face, that is access to credit, lack of collateral. Maybe this may be one of the reasons for access to credit, financial literacy, and technology adoption. If we are able to address this, then we will be able to bring the MSMEs to a greater heights. These challenges demand a tailored approach by banks to address specific pain points and unlock the growth. Friends, having said this, I also feel there is a necessity to look into the performance of MSMEs in India post-COVID-19. We all know that across the globe, every sector was impacted because of the pandemic. No specific need to tell about the MSMEs. They are more affected because they are more agile. They don't have the deep pockets to withstand such shocks. So let us look into briefly how they perform post-pandemic. The performance of MSMEs in India after the COVID-19 pandemic reflects a mix of recovery, resilience, and ongoing challenges. Let us have a brief overview of how the sector is faring post-pandemic. I feel that this is important because when we look into the pain points of the MSMEs, we also need to look into what are the additional pain points they faced during the pandemic. Have they come out of that totally, or still they need some medicines? So if we look into in brief about that, the recovery and growth is the major point. Within that, resilience of MSMEs. Many MSMEs have adapted to the crisis by digitizing the operations, diversifying the product lines, and exploring new markets. For example, some shifted to manufacturing essential goods like masks, PPE kits, and sanitizers during the pandemic. Government support, really a great support by the government, and of course by the regulator also. I will touch upon some of the support which the government of India gave. I am sure that every one of you is aware of that, and also the IIBF might have dwelt upon in detail of the various schemes. So I will not go in deep into those individual schemes, but I will definitely touch upon what are the support largely the government gave. The Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme, ECLGS, initiatives like the PLI, production linked incentive. Sectoral growth. MSMEs in e-commerce, IT and healthcare have shown robust growth, leveraging the post-pandemic digital boom. Export-oriented MSMEs, especially in textiles and engineering goods, benefited from recovering global demand. What are the challenges faced post-pandemic? Debt overhang. While schemes like ECLGS provided temporary relief, many MSMEs continue to face debt repayment pressures. NPAs in the MSME sector remain a concern for banks. However, I should also say with my practical hands-on that it is not very alarming. What is required is a hand-holding. As I said, they don't have the deep pocket. They are very agile. We need to take, as a banker, we need to take care of these MSMEs like taking care of the babies. The other challenge what they face is the rising costs. Post-pandemic, increased input costs due to supply chain disruptions and inflation have squeezed the margins. Already the MSMEs are doing the business or having a very, very thin margins. Added to that, the increased input cost due to the supply chain disruptions have definitely disrupted the margins. Limited access to affordable credit remains a challenge, especially for smaller enterprises. Demand volatility. Many MSMEs, particularly in discretionary sectors like tourism, hospitality, and luxury goods, are still recovering from reduced consumer spending during the pandemic. However, I should also say that it is improving at a very good speed. Labor shortages. Migration of workers during the pandemic created labor shortages in some regions, which has slowed the pace of recovery for labor-intensive MSMEs. Let us look into the MSME performance in digital transformation. Because whenever there is a challenge, there is an opportunity. How the opportunity is being utilized. The people who take the challenges as an opportunity definitely succeed. The MSMEs have also not failed. Many MSMEs have embraced digital tools for marketing, payments, and operations. Platforms like UPI, government e-marketplace, and e-commerce marketplaces have been widely adopted. Digital adoption is helping MSMEs reduce costs and reach broader markets. Export contribution. MSMEs continue to contribute to be a major contributor to India's exports, as I said, accounting for nearly 40% of the total. However, competition from global markets and rising freight costs remain barriers. So these are some of the points which, as a banker, we should note as to what are the barriers, what are the challenges, what are the pain points the MSME face, so that once we note these points, definitely we will be able to address them. Sustainability focus. Post-pandemic, there is a growing emphasis on sustainability, with MSMEs exploring green technologies and renewable energy solutions to reduce costs and meet market demands. So what are the government and policy support? Are they? Yes, the answer is affirmative, double affirmative, I should say. They give a lot of support and policy support. The government has introduced several measures to boost MSME recovery. Udayam registration. I will not go in deep. I will just touch upon some of the major policy support which the government has given. The Udayam registration. This enables to improve access to formal financing and government schemes. RAMP, raising and accelerating MSME performance. This is a World Bank supported initiative to enhance MSME competitiveness and market access. PLI schemes, what I said. Credit guarantee schemes, CGT MSE, to include more MSMEs under collateral-free loans. I was telling that one of the pain points is lack of collateral. Now the government has given us support. They give the CGT MSE, and they have also expanded the scheme, increased to cover more collateral-free loans. Now let us look into outlook for MSMEs post-pandemic. Positive indicators. The GDP contribution of MSMEs is expected to grow as domestic demand improves and global markets stabilize. Innovations in technology and government push for Make in India are creating new opportunities for MSMEs. What are the key focus areas for future growth? Digitization is the mantra. Ensuring more MSMEs adopt digital tools for efficiency and market expansion. Access to affordable credit. Strengthening partnerships between banks and fintech companies to bridge the financing gap. Export diversification. Encouraging MSMEs to enter new markets and reduce dependency on few regions. Export diversification. Encouraging MSMEs to enter new markets and reduce dependency on few regions, promoting green practices and technologies to ensure long-term growth. While the pandemic posed unprecedented challenges, the MSME sector in India has shown remarkable adaptability and resilience. With continued government support, digitization, and innovation, MSMEs are on a path to recovery. However, addressing issues like credit accessibility, raising costs, and market volatility will be key to unlocking their full potential in the post-COVID era. Friends, we have seen what are the sectors where they contribute, how much they contribute to the GDP, how much they contribute to the exports, the employment being given by the MSMEs. We have also seen the pain points, what they face in general and more particularly post-COVID. Yes, they are recovering. They are able to, but still we see that they need a very, very tailored approach. As I said, we need to handhold them. We need to take care of this as we take care of the babies. Now, having said these things, having looked into these things, what is more important is what are the strategies the banks can adopt to harness the MSME potential. We saw there are huge potential for the MSMEs. We also saw how they contribute, what are the pain points. Now, having seen all these things, we need to look into the strategies what the banks can harness, strategies what the banks can adopt to harness the MSME potential. Enhanced credit access through innovative lending models is more important. Enhanced credit access through innovative lending models. Shift from traditional collateral-based lending to cash flow-based lending. This is very important because one, we will be seeing or we even saw that the MSMEs are not able to offer the collaterals which normally the bankers insist for. Of course, the government has also given a mitigation to some extent by giving the guarantee under the CGT-MSE collateral-free loans. Traditionally, the bankers have various lending models, but I always suggest that cash flow is the best model because it is the cash flow which is going to contribute to the MSMEs or any entrepreneur, any business. And if there is a cash flow, definitely that will also be served. So I suggest that shift from the traditional collateral-based lending to cash flow-based financing model. Leverage alternative data sources such as transaction history, GST records, and digital payment behavior to assess creditworthiness. Now, these are available. These give a very realistic picture as to what is the transaction history of the MSMEs, what is the GST records, what it stocks, and of course, the digital payment behavior. The third most important point, I would say that is very, very important, develop specific loan products tailored to various MSME subsectors, such as manufacturing, retail, or service industries. This is more important. It cannot be one size fits all. No, definitely not, particularly in MSMEs. There is a need to develop a tailored product to suit each and every sector. The next strategy, what the bankers can look into is strengthening the partnerships and ecosystems. What does it mean? Collaborate with fintech companies to deploy technology for quicker loan disbursement and better customer experience. This is very important. That TAT, which we call turnaround time, is very, very important without compromising on key quality aspects. How can we do? Traditionally, as a banker, I can say that with about more than 4 decades, I have seen how the banks have done the journey from the manual systems. Many of you may not be having the hands-on, I believe. And definitely, I can look into Mr. Prasad, the Director of Training, who also has such a very rich experience from the manual days. Then we had the ALPMs, we had the TBCs, we had the CBS, and so on and so forth. When we come to the credit, we used to collect the data, balance sheets, waiting for the input from the customers, raising the queries will go, and talking like a credit officer. But everything takes time. Today, if we look into the MSMEs, there is an urgent need for them. We saw a huge financing gap. Can they survive? There is urgent need to address them. So how can we? Fortunately, unlike the earlier days, we have alternative data sources available. Why not we use that? How shall we? There comes collaborating with the fintechs to deploy technology for quick loan disbursement and better customer experience. It is not only loan disbursement, but also the underwriting. Partner with government initiatives like SIDBI, CGT-MSE, and others to offer collateral-free loans. Work with industry bodies to provide sector-specific support, and advisory services. These are today available. We need to leverage the same. The third initiative is what we have to adopt is digitization, technology integration. Very, very important. Develop user-friendly digital platforms for loan applications, approval, and management, end-to-end. Yes, many banks have started doing. Some of the banks have completed the journey. Some are in the halfway. I will urge upon each banker to take stock of the position in their banks, take up with the appropriate authority, give the suggestions, so that that can be end-to-end seamless journey. And when I say it should not be only an automated journey, there should be an assisted journey, more particularly for the MSMEs, because we will see later, we cannot expect the MSMEs to be highly techno-savvy. So there is a need for assisted journey also. So when we take up these initiatives, we should also keep in mind there should be an automated journey, there should be assisted journey. The assisted journey can be at any stage. Educate MSMEs on the benefits of adopting digital tools for financial planning, inventory management, and online sales. Invest in artificial intelligence and data analytics to predict repayment behavior and reduce the NPAs. More important for the bankers. The fourth important strategy is promoting financial literacy and capacity building. This is again very, very important. Organize workshops and training programs to enhance MSME awareness of financial products and services. Create a dedicated MSME help desk branches to provide customized guidance. This is very important because you cannot expect the MSME entrepreneur to know everything. There is a bounden responsibility on the part of the banker to create the awareness, to improve the financial literacy. Offer online resources, videos, and tools for financial literacy. The other very important strategies is sector-specific and customized offerings. Conduct in-depth analysis to identify high-growth sector within the MSME space. Tailor the financial products based on specific sector needs, such as working capital loans for seasonal businesses or equipment loans for manufacturers. Explore foreign exchange services and export financing for MSMEs in the export market. The other important strategy, which I have already told, reducing the turnaround time. Simplify the documentation process. Simplify. And use digital verification methods to reduce loan processing times. Implement end-to-end digital workflows to enhance efficiency. Of course, when it comes to the assisted journey, particularly at the application stage. Very key important point for the banker is strengthening the risk management practices. Very, very important. Build robust risk management frameworks to evaluate MSME loans. Use predictive models to identify early signs of stress and offer restructuring options proactively. We ourselves should. There should not be a hesitancy. But what is important is there should be a cash flow studies. Many bankers feel that risk management is a roadblock. You say that strengthen the risk management. Already my risk management is stopping my business. Is it so? My answer is definitely not. Definitely not. risk management is not a roadblocker. If you have a good risk management system, definitely the business will grow. I always take an example, maybe some of the people might have heard, particularly my fellow bankers from the banks where I have been earlier heading. I always say that a good braking system in a car enhances the confidence of the driver to drive fast. Because the driver knows that I can go at an excellent speed. I have a good braking system. Where required, my brake will stop me. Similarly, the risk management system should be robust enough in the banks. Should caution me as a business leader, as a business person, when I am driving the business. The risk management system should be robust to guide me and say that take these mitigations. It is not the stopping. The risk management cannot only identify, cannot only say that risk, but the risk management should also say the mitigations what are available. And as a business person, we are duty bound to hear the risk management advices, to take the mitigations what they suggest. That is the robust risk management framework, assessment framework. So if we have these things, definitely we will be able to do. Now, what is the role of leadership in driving the change? Senior banking leadership must champion the transformation required to cater to the MSME sector effectively. A strategic focus on MSMEs needs to be embedded in organizational goals with clearly defined KPIs to measure the impact. This is very, very important. Friends, we saw the contribution of the MSMEs, the pain points, how they perform post-pandemic, and what are the strategies that as a banker we need to look into. Once we have these strategies, we will be able to. In conclusion, I should say that the MSME sector represents a gold mine of opportunities for banks. I repeat, MSME sector represents a gold mine of opportunities for banks. By addressing the financing gap and providing customized innovative solutions, bank can unlock tremendous economic value while ensuring sustainable growth for MSMEs. I urge all of you to take a bold and proactive approach. Why I say bold and proactive approach is there is apprehension in the minds of some of the bankers, I will not say all, in some of the bankers that MSMEs, there are large NPAs, there are SMAs. Should I go ahead with lending to MSMEs? These are always in the minds of the bankers, no doubt. But as I said, we should look into why there is a stress. The stress is basically because of huge financing gap. They are not able to get the credit. They are not able to offer the collateral. But there is a very good potential. They contribute huge to the GDP. They contribute to the exports. They give large employment opportunities, particularly in the rural and semi.
Already 30 over here.
I think somebody has to mute.
Yeah, mute the mic.
So This is what is important. When they do all these things, as a banker, are we to support them? Or we go into a shell, looking into that in some pockets there are some stress, there are some large SMEs, large NPAs. My answer is no. We cannot go to the shell. As a banker, we need to take a proactive approach. Banker is one who can contribute a lot in a large scale for the economy. Such being the case, what shall we do? As I said, we need to identify the pain points and give proper medicines. Most important is tailor-made products. Have frequent interactions with the MSMEs. Handhold them. There is huge potential. I am sure that we will be able to tap it. I urge all of you to take, once again, a bold and proactive approach. The strategies what we discussed today, leveraging technology, building partnerships, and enhancing financial literacy are not just recommendations, but imperatives to position the banking sector as a key enabler of MSME growth. Together, let us commit to fostering an ecosystem where MSMEs can thrive, innovate, contribute even more significantly to our economy. The road ahead is challenging, but the rewards are monumental for the banks, the MSMEs, and the nation as a whole. Thank you very much. I will stop here and can take the questions if it is there, if the IIBF, the CEO or so feel. And once again, I thank the CEO of IIBF, the directors and the entire faculties present there, and also my fellow bankers for this opportunity to meet every one of you and deliberate with you. Thanks a lot. Now it's over to Ravita. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. It's a very important topic you delved, and from a practical banking perspective, what you have seen. Sir, over a period of time, if you see, sir, the public sector banks has lost the market share in MSME. In 2020-21, it used to be 73%. Perhaps it has come down to 19%. And that is where actually PSBs has lost out over a period of time. But now there is a renewed focus by all the PSBs. Now, around 9 PSBs has launched a credit model for MSBs, up to 25 lakhs, of course, little easier what you said, that AI model. But in the last quarter, the public sector, the private sector banks have tripled their share in the loan sanctioned to MSMEs. Of course, public sector banks are also a resurgent force here as far as MSME concerned. In quarter 2 of FY 24-25, 13 lakh crore loans were disbursed by public sector banks. So no less important for that. So based on this background, sir, your discussion with our participants will be very important. I will request the participant to interact more little bit with you, because we cannot avoid MSME in the Indian banking system. It will be at our own peril and at the peril of the Indian financial Indian economy. When you have clearly said the importance of MSME in the growth of Indian economy, and when India wants to become a Vikasit Bharat, a inclusive economy, MSME has to play a vital role, and all the bankers, particularly our AMP candidates, should also know the importance of MSME and what they need to do. Very well said, sir. And in case, if it is necessary, Ravita, please note, talk to the AMP participants in case they need a separate workshop for MSMEs. Maybe one more day dedicated to MSME, we can do it separately. Thank you, yes, sir. The wonderful presentation. Now over to the participants. Having seen the MSME growth prospects now for all public sector and private sector banks. You can share your views or interact with sir.
Sir, very good morning, sir. Sir, I'm Dr. Deepak Kumar from Union Bank of
From? You are from which bank?
India. From Union Bank of India, sir.
Okay, good.
Sir, I want to know one thing, sir. As you have stressed the importance of the MSMEs, and we also know that our management is also aware of that. But sir, last month I was looking after the data of the CGTMSE. The facility of CGTMSE is mostly utilized by the private banks now, sir. Means last from 2 years, the SDFC Bank is the highest bank, the bank which is
Yes.
utilizing these CGTMSE services in the highest number and volume also, sir. So why our PSB banks are so hesitating to utilize the services of CGTMSE, sir? Is there any guidelines from the top management, sir, or like we are not, why we are not utilizing, sir?
No, I don't think that there is any guideline from the top management. Definitely not, I can say. As I was also heading a public sector bank, I can say that there is no such a guideline from the top management that you should not. I feel that these loans are basically small value to small ticket loans where the sanctioning powers are with the field people. I was also touching upon that it is in the minds of some of the bankers concern on the stress. When the concern increases, some sort of, I can say that, a little reluctance to go ahead with that. So that is why I said it is the mindset. It is the mindset. You should understand as a banker that we should understand that yes, lending is one of our primary job. Of course, when we lend, it goes without saying that we need to recover. There is no second opinion on that. When we do the lending, we need to also assess. Any lending, we need to assess. What is the assessment? What for we assess? We assess ultimately at the end of the day, will the unit make money? Only if they make money, believe me, we will be able to get our money. Otherwise, no. So this is the very purpose of making the assessment. When we make the assessment, it should not be a theoretical one based on the papers. That is why I said that the traditional method of lending should go away. There should be a cash flow approach. When I say cash flow approach, it is easier to say, but how to assess? It will be a big question. Now, for any assessment, always as a banker, we look into the past. When we look into the past, today you have a lot of external data available, as I said, digitally, we can. And how the industry is doing, what is the future prospects for the industry, how the competition, who are the players. I can give you an example. These MSMEs are basically ancillary units for some big manufacturers, by and large. Now, if you take automobile, in India, there are certain geographies where the automobile industries are concentrated. Now, I am going to, as MSME, start a unit for manufacturing auto parts in a geography which is far from the auto hub in India. Now, what will happen? If the manufacturer, the big manufacturer, auto manufacturer needs to procure that part from far off place, the cost will be high because of the transportation. Compared to another unit which is already closer to the hub. So as a credit officer, when we look into, we also need to look into these aspects for the future and factor that in the cash flow. Once we do that, we will be able to. So what is more important is that we should come out of the shell. We should not have apprehension. As a public sector bank, I will urge upon, when you look into the person was telling from Union Bank of India that the data says that the HDFC is utilizing the CGT MSE to a great extent. So that indicates that there is a good potential. I will urge upon the public sector banks, officers, that don't have the apprehension, follow the systems, don't be afraid of the credit decisions. If you follow the systems, you need not worry. So there is a good opportunity. No top management definitely says that go slow on this. Yeah, next.
Sir, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And thank you,
Sir.
Srima, sir, for giving this opportunity, sir. Thank you.
Sir, myself Sagar sir from Central Bank of India, sir. First of all, sir, I would like to extend my sincere gratitude, sir, to hear you, sir, on behalf of my 13th batch. Sir, as you said in your earlier, sir, that government, that MSME is contributing 30% in GDP and 40% in exports, sir. And government has also taken many initiatives, sir. Sir, as per my concern, sir, that why not government is starting a university-like culture? As in agriculture side, government has started many university. Learn the agriculture so that MSME is, from starting they can learn the MSME. Nowadays, after getting all the things, customer wants to be a MSME entrepreneurs, and they learn from another person what the another person is saying in MSME activity. As per my concern, if government will start a university-like culture, so that entrepreneurs study in university from earlier, and they will start a new entrepreneur, they will start a new unit, so that MSME developing may go in good ways, sir. What is your opinion, sir?
Okay, it's a good suggestion, can be noted. But as I said, the MSMEs are by and large spread across the geography. And starting the university, a good suggestion, but it may be only in one place. Then accessing that itself will be difficult for them. Government also cannot open the university in each and every corner of the country, is it not? It's a good suggestion, can be definitely looked into. That is why the banks play a vital role. What they can do, many of you may be knowing about RCT, root CT, like that in agriculture, where the banks run the training system for the rural people. That they not only teach the agriculture, they also teach on these micro enterprises and other things. I will only urge upon that can be enhanced. The scope can be further widened. Keeping in mind, as a banker, we have a major role to play in the development of the economy and the nation. But it's a good suggestion, definitely it can be noted.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, I want to ask a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Sir, as for global national institutions like World Bank, RBI, there is a huge deficit in MSME financing. Then why don't RBI revisit the priority sector guidelines? Because there is a cap of 7.5% towards micro and small enterprises. So why don't they increase the cap?
How it is going to benefit you?
At least small sectors like MSME bank, by the guidelines, bank will be bound to finance, no, sir.
Okay. No, we have to look into the various aspects in that. You are from which bank?
Central Bank of India.
Central Bank of India. Okay. I feel that the priority sector definition changing may not be very this one, particularly for, I can say, the nationalized banks, public sector banks. Not going to. I can understand that if it is further increased, may help foreign banks, may help some of the private banks. Today, one of our friend was just telling that it is the HDFC, which is utilizing this to a great extent. The banks who do not have much of presence geographically, may require this. But I don't think that in India that is the case. The public sector banks still hold a large chunk of the share in the financial stream. So I don't think that it will be required. Of course, these suggestions are being given periodically, being taken up with the Reserve Bank of India and also the government. Let us wait and watch what they will do.
Good morning, sir.
Sir, with your kind permission, one
Yes.
minute, 1 minute. With your kind permission, let me respond to the query raised by Mr. Saga. It is not only 7.5% which is earmarked for finance to micro. When it comes to priority sector, entire finance either to micro, small, or for that matter, medium also, it is being reckoned under the priority sector lending under NBC 40%. Not only that, within a given portfolio of SME for a particular bank, you might be knowing that 60% is to be given towards micro and 40% should be consisting of small. That way, talking about priority sector targets, it is extended to micro, small and medium as well. It is as good as 40%. Any bank can achieve those targets, barring those other sectoral targets like agriculture, 18% of NBC. That way, we cannot say that it is capped at 7.5%. That 7.5% cap is only for micro enterprises. But if we talk about MSME enterprises finance, entire finance to MSME, either micro, small or medium, it all are reckoned under priority sector finance.
Yes.
Hope you are getting the point which I am raising.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Krishnan.
Sir, good morning, sir. And I am from IIBF. I am heading this Calcutta center. And sir, really on behalf of the IIBF, we are thankful to you for this that is beautiful, disposition today that is relating to very pragmatic approach towards the MSME lending. And just to substantiate the opinion of our senior faculty A.K. Misra, sir, I would like to say that, sir, in IIBF, also in association with SIDBI, the key agency for MSME that is monitoring and financing, we conducted 3 capacity development programs in all metros, that is for the RRB, sir. What I can share here with my participant is that in RRB, in fact, these 2 things are just missed. What are these 2 things? That yes, you have to provide the support for technological upgradation. And they don't take it as a matter of fact that yes, there is a concept called product obsolescence. So if there is product obsolescence is there, if they are not going for product innovation, they will be out from the market. That is very simple, and their account will suffer. Their account may slip to SMA, their account may slip to NPA. Therefore, the bank has to intervene. Bank has to intervene in a pragmatic manner that they are to be sustained financially, they are to be sustained technologically. And these things, sir, you have highlighted very beautifully. We are really thankful to you. And I am very sure that your deliberation will put in a lot of positive vibes in the that is strategic concepts of our participants who have attended your sessions today, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, from this side, this is Tanveer from J&K Bank. Sir, thanks a lot for this deep dive, insightful about the MSMEs. Sir, while you have touched a lot of important points which really are important for the banking industry. Sir, MSMEs, which play a very important role, not only they give the stability to the bank's balance sheet on asset side, but as well as on the liability side, because whenever we finance the MSMEs, their deposits, their family accounts, and all these come to the bank. Sir, also, they also give a mitigation towards the concentration risk because the credit is spread over a large number of the borrowers. Sir, also, they also provide a good return on assets also. Because the corporates are always on us to lower the interest rates and other commissions and also, but because of the MSMEs don't have that much of bargaining power, they give a good return on assets to the banks. So what I feel, sir, even though there are the credit gaps in the MSMEs, but there are also issues why banks are not financing, especially public sector banks, why these are not so much into it in financing the MSMEs. I feel that what you said, sir, is that the financial literacy and hand-holding is very important for these MSMEs. Because what I feel that especially in micro and small sector, they do a lot of the banking through the not in the formal channels.
Yes.
That is one of the major hindrances which come into in financing, because you don't get the proper balance sheets, you don't get the proper papers, and you don't get the proper information. GST is not there. So hand holding and literacy is to be developed upon, and that is to be inculcated in them. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Good.
Good morning, sir. This is Murtaza from J&K Bank. I just wanted your opinion on what do you think how this SME IPOs can help bridge the capital gap for SME sector? I mean, given the popularity, the rise in popularity of these SME IPOs and the easy access to capital, how effective can they prove to bridge the gap of capital for MSMEs?
No, definitely it is a good source for them, because see, we were seeing last 1 hour or so that there is a huge gap for funding. Gap for funding can be from various sources. One is the loan, another is the capital. If they have sufficient capital, definitely they may not come for the loan. It may be a debt-free units also, but they find very difficult to go to the market and raise it. That is what was happening. To keep that, to address that, now the SMEs IPOs are also being encouraged. Definitely, this will have a positive impact. This will benefit the MSMEs. Now, having said that, as a banker, I always say that we are a partner in the business. When I say partner in the business, we also need to continuously educate them. Even if they raise the funds through the IPO, managing the funds is very important. We need to handhold with them. We need to monitor properly. But having said, definitely the IPOs will help the SMEs to great extent to bring down the gap.
With your due permission, sir, just to respond to Mr. Murtaza, I would like to say that the capital gap financing by the banks, it has to be viewed in a manner that yes, you have to assess while assessing the MSME proposals that whether this particular unit has the skill, that is a कौशल उसके पास है कि नहीं है. अगर उसके पास कौशल है तो उसको आपको साधन देना पड़ेगा. अगर साधन नहीं देंगे तो in fact they will be in the same cycle, that revolving cycle. They do not have the capital, they cannot grow, and they will fall into the SMA and the NPA trap. So this is my suggestion. These very simple tips. I think you have to assess the causal of the skill that is available in the unit. And if you are satisfied with the skill, the capacity of the particular entrepreneur, you have to provide the capital financing, my dear friend.
Oh, sir, here is Neeraj Prakash from Central Bank of India. Sir, I would like to add one point in this discussion. I think, sir, higher credit cost to MSME is also a big pain point for them. As sir has told that lack of collateral, banks are unable to fund, and it is creating a $240 billion financing gap is there. What is happening? Actually, MSMEs are having no collateral. When they are approaching to the bank, when we are saying this is the collateral CGT SME fee charges, which is the higher side. It varies from the 1% to 2.25%, depending upon the banks to bank. Then this charges 1 to 2.5% is very higher side, and they are unable to take the loans. So my suggestion is that government should either reduce these charges, or state government or central government should give subsidy for 1 or 2 initial years, so that they can grow in their business and generate the cash flow, and after that they will be able to bear those costs, sir.
So good point. Definitely the credit cost is a very, very pain point for the MSMEs. The premiums are high, as you say, differs from bank to bank based on the history of the claims. It varies. I will only take you to when we talk of the credit cost, the risk premium is very important. How we fix the pricing for a loan product. I will not go very deep because already I overshot the time probably.
Their credit profile and CGTME fees are also based on the risk premium.
I agree. I agree.
Position,
Yes.
gross NPA positions.
So, one, the government can reduce by subsidizing. It also needs to be looked into from the overall macro level on the surplus, what the government, how much they can do. Definitely, the government can look into this one good suggestions which can be given. Now it's apt time for the budget. Definitely can be taken up. Second, we also look into as a banker, how can we, if we are able to have a good monitoring mechanism, timely helping, lot of delinquencies can be brought down. Many times what happens, these customers, MSMEs, I have practically seen, if the installment is due today, they will not pay you. They know that you will classify this as NPA only on 90th day. And your cost, I mean the charge what you are charging, is probably lower than the other things for them. What is that other thing? They borrow informally from other lenders, where the cost is very, very high. So they use this for other purposes because the cost is less here. Now, what is the need of the hour for us? Educating them. We should tell that, yes, if you fail on day 0, the account becomes the SMA, your credit history is spoiled, your probability for getting the additional finance gets affected. Then what are the places where he has borrowed? As a banker, we should know. Understand that. Why not I help by giving them? Thereby his overall credit cost can be brought down. Once that is brought down, definitely he will be serving. When he serves us, our credit cost will come down. The risk premium will come down. So this is a chain which we need to proactively do it.
Sir, actually, sir, what happened in Gujarat before this year? Gujarat government is subsidizing those CGTME charges. Then flow of MSME credit is very good. Now, from this year onwards, they have stopped giving this CGTME fees. Then flow also came down. If either it should be subsidized for 2 or 3 years, or credit cost should be reduced, fees should be reduced, so that MSME can go.
I do agree. These are the things which the MSMEs face.
Yes, sir.
We need to work on that.
Yes, Ravita.
Sir, good morning, sir. Sir, I am Keshav Babu from Tamilnad Mercantile Bank, sir. I am much privileged to talk with you once again, sir. Very kind of you, sir. Sir, on the one side, you have given nice presentation, sir. Very excellent kind of you, sir. Then I am having one question, sir. On the one hand, we are talking about MSME growth, but still we are importing raw materials, everything from China. Still, it adds cost on the product. Instead of that, if we have a concession, or we shall arrange for a training which are the item are to be imported from the other countries. We shall give you a training, or we shall give you a concession in duty, or otherwise we may have a export promotion scheme. If it adds in the MSME sector, that will help to boost our MSME growth, sir. What is your opinion on that point, sir?
No, you are right, but already the government has taken a lot of initiatives as Make in India. Incentives are being given. Various sectors where the imports are taking place are being substituted by the Indian making. That is why the government came with Make in India concept. And I hope that over the period, we should, as I said, I always, the cost of repetition, let me repeat that, yes, as a banker, we have enormous responsibility on the nation building, on the economic growth. So it is our responsibility to go on, teach, to go on, educate the people, as to how we have to reduce the dependence on the imports. How can we do ourselves in this one? So government is taking a lot of measures for Make in India. And as a banker, I only urge upon every one of you to dwell upon this, to take up with the customers, to encourage them, to educate them, increase their capacity building. Definitely we will be able to achieve.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome.
Sir, good morning, sir. Raja here, sir. Very nice to talk to you once again, sir. We are privileged to have you, sir, in DCU, sir. Sir, my question is, actually, MSME sector, you, sir, rightly pointed out, collateral is one of the main issues, sir. In our bank also, previously, we used to sanction with 50% collateral. Right now, we insist for 100%. In some cases, we are going for this hybrid type of loan, sir. CGTMSA coverage, sir. But government, even though supporting CGTMSA coverage, but still they are sanctioning only 75% in case of default, sir. How this will support the bank, sir?
See, any guarantee cover is as good as insurance, right? So what is the percentage of, what is the terms of coverage has to be looked into. If the term says 75%, 75% only they will give, right? Now your question is that, sir, they give only 75%, how can I go ahead? See, it is only additional mitigation which the government is giving. It is only the additional mitigation which the government is giving. Now it is for us. I say that when you are in the lending market, definitely there will be slippages, there will be delinquencies. One cannot say that because an account becomes stressed asset, I will stop lending like that. Or there should be somebody who has to give 100% coverage for that. As a banker, we need to evaluate. Yes, I have 75% coverage. That gives me a cushion. I always, in a very, very colloquial language, I used to say that what is the mitigation is, if somebody falls from the top, how much you will be hurt, how much you will be injured. Is there a cushion available which can protect him to some extent? So 75% cushion is available for you. Now it is the remaining 25%. How can I address the 25%? If you have a proper monitoring, definitely that 25% you can address. So we should not depend solely on the insurance, on the coverage. As a banker, we should be ready to take the risk, a calculated risk. That is why I said there should be a robust risk management system framework. If we have, definitely the bankers need not worry.
Thank you,
Right,
sir.
Right. In case all of you want, the MP participants, we can have a separate a session on MSME, because it is going to gain momentum in all the banks. And as the government is pushing for this also, as I said, that 13 trillion loans has been sanctioned this year by PSBs, and all the 9 PSBs has also entered into an alliance to increase the MSME loan. The knowledge, not only from the entrepreneur side, but also for the bankers, are also quite important. So we can have a separate WhatsApp for all of you in case you feel like. But the wonderful to see you interacting so nicely with Mr. Krishnan. Rabita?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, sir, I would now request our director, Prasad, sir, to please extend vote of thanks.
Yeah. Good morning, Ravita. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So it's a great pleasure listening to Shri Krishnan, sir, particularly after a long time. I was reporting to him when he was the ED in Canara Bank. We had a lot of meetings during the time of amalgamation. It was always a pleasure listening to him on various aspects. I think there is no subject on which he has got very deep knowledge on every subject, I can say that. So we enjoyed our association there, and it's great pleasure to listen to him. He is an epitome of knowledge, and not one area, but in almost all areas of banking. Very few can claim to have such knowledge. One has to be, but I caution that one has to be well prepared if one has to go with discussion with him, because he will ask such probing questions. Most of the times we come out of the cabin without being able to answer him some of these questions. What we can call him is one of the most ruthless efficient executives I have come across, sir. It is great pleasure listening to you. Today, he dwelt on the subject MSME sector still has a considerable untapped potential, and banks can adopt to fully harness this capability. So during his course of his session, he has told that AMP is a very good course and it is continuously being revised. This particular topic is very important as MSME is the backbone of our economy. The potential remains largely unutilized is what he felt. He also informed that 40% of India exports are from MSME sector, 30% of GDP is contributed from MSME, and around about 110 million people are employed through this particular sector. It also plays a key role in sustainable development, and it makes healthcare affordable, makes contribution to education and vocational training, and he says that 240 billion gap is there. So much potential is there to fund. So he felt that banks have to focus on innovative, inclusive, and scalable financial tools is what he felt. He felt that there are a lot of challenges like technology adoption, digital awareness, lack of collateral, and financial literacy. These are challenges which have to be addressed. He felt it. Post-pandemic, he felt that the units are recovering and are becoming resilient. Government has drawn up a lot of schemes, particularly CGTM and so many schemes to help, particularly during the time of the pandemic. In the outlook, he told partnership with fintechs and banks will go a long way in delivering the products. Then there should be diversification, promoting of green products, etc. should be there. There should be enhanced credit accessibility, innovative lending models, traditional to cash flow models should be of evaluation should be implemented. Leverage of alternative data sources have to be taken in account. He felt that assisted automated journey should be there. They should be encouraged. Digital assistance for online sale, etc. have to be given is what he felt it. He also informed that documentation should be simplified. Turnaround time should be reduced. There must be a robust risk management tools should be there, which should not be a roadblock is what he felt that. So he also gave the example of car having a good braking system will help increase the confidence of the driver. Similarly, risk management is not a constraint, but it should be advise the mitigants is what he felt. So leadership also has to change their role, clearly define the KPIs to have a desired outcome. He felt it. In conclusion, he told there is a gold mine of opportunities for banks, and the role of banker is very important. Road ahead is challenging, but rewards are monumental is what he felt it. Of course, he has told so many other things which is very difficult to repeat it, but very, very interesting session. Sir, I would like to thank on behalf of IIBF and the participants here for taking our time and dwelling on this topic, which has made all of us very richer. Thank you very much, sir. I also would like to thank Shri Das, sir, who is the CEO of IIBF. He is the backbone of IIBF. He is a guiding force. He guides us to undertake various activities. He is a voracious reader and always looks around for improving the delivery models of IIBF. I also would take this opportunity to thank our directors, faculty, and other dignitaries and authorities from IIBF who are participating in this particular leadership series. I also would like to thank Coordinator Ravita Madam and Dr. Pirima, who are painstakingly planning the session after session for last so many months. And the AMP is very successful because of their efforts. And most importantly, I would like to thank all the participants who have listened very intently and also asked a lot of important questions, which has made the knowledge of all participants much more interesting. Thank you very much, sir, all of you. Over to Ravita. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to CEO, sir, Prasad, sir, and everyone, participants. Thanks.
But sir, on behalf of IIBF, on behalf of participants, wishing you a very, very happy, healthy New Year, sir. Krishnan, sir, to you. And maybe, sir, we will meet in person maybe in 2025. And
Yes.
for all the participants also from IIBF, a very, very happy and prosperous New Year. We will meet in person in New Year.
Thank you.
Thank